KBOXtv, of course, joining us on the show this evening. Kofi, can you hear us? Good evening, and glad to have you on the show.
Good evening, Eze, and thank you for the
Right,
opportunity.
so we actually doing our best to bring you the live interview between myself and Kofi, where we'll be talking about the fight. But right now, we actually what are you expecting?
I think it's going to be a very good fight. First of all,
because it looks like we got disappointed a little bit on the way. We got disappointed a little bit on the way. The very first one, he got beaten. The second one, he got beaten. It looks like Ghanaians wouldn't want to spend so much time watching him fight again. But I think for a fact that I am of the big feeling that he's going to do a great job. So we have said earlier that we need prayers and a lot of support. If you're out there and you know the thing like this, you realize that people are not following you, I think mentally it might worry you. So let's hit social media. Let's make him feel that come on, he's that guy we love so much and we want to see him win. So for me, that is going to be good. If not,
well, we'll get to find out about this one. So Kofi has joined us. Kofi, good evening. Glad to have you on Global 105.1 FM.
Good evening. I hope you can hear me, and thanks to the opportunity and shouts to all the fans listening.
All right, so let's get straight to this particular fight between Isaac Dogboe and Chris Avalos. Let me quickly give our listeners the stats as far as Chris Avalos is concerned. Many are asking, who is this guy? Well, he's an American. He also has a Mexican descent. And talking about Chris Avalos, he's fought 35 times already. He's actually won 27 of those fights. And out of those 27 fights, 20 come through technical knockout. He's lost 7 times, and talking about those 7 defeats, he's been knocked down 4 times. He's had no draw as far as his fight is concerned. For Isaac Dogboe, we all know him. He's fought 23 times, and he's won 20 times. 14 out of those 20 victories came via TKO, and he's lost twice. And those defeats, we know it came through the hands of Emmanuel Navarrete. Kofi, talking about this particular one, what are the expectations? How is the euphoria building as far as this particular one is concerned?
I think this fight is going to be a very good fight. It's a very big opportunity for Isaac to make a very solid comeback after his back-to-back defeat to Emmanuel Navarrete, who is now moving up to the featherweight division. I mean, I'm very excited that he has this opportunity to rewrite his name. I mean, sort of rewrite his wrongs, and then make a very solid comeback in the world of boxing again.
Well, he's back, and he's back in the featherweight division. Tell us a little bit about Chris Avalos. What kind of boxer is he? What should we expect from Chris Avalos?
Chris Avalos is a very good boxer. First of all, let me talk about some of the advantages that he has over Isaac Dogboe. First of all, he's some few inches taller than Isaac Dogboe. He has 2 inches reach over Isaac Dogboe. Those are the 2 things that physically he has over Isaac Dogboe. And like you said, he's a Mexican. He's an American, but more of a Mexican descent. You know, and you know how the Mexicans are and how they've already written their name in boxing. So Avalos, in his last 5 fights, you know, he's lost 4. You know, so so for somebody who's lost 4 in your last 5 fights against somebody who's lost 3 who's lost only 2 to 1 fighter, not different fighters, but 2 to 1 fighter, 2 losses to 1 fighter. I think Dogboe still has a very sharp edge over him. Avalos is a very solid name in the world of boxing. He's lost 2 opportunities to become a world champion. One to Carl Frampton, and then the other one to Leo Santa Cruz. If he faced Santa Cruz in 2017 for the WBA
World Boxing Yeah,
Yes,
WBA Super World
welterweight,
Featherweight title.
right? And then he lost to Carl
All
Frampton.
right, so let's take a look at the age.
He lost to Carl Frampton in
Let's take a look at
2015.
the age.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at the age factor. Chris Avalos is 30, Isaac Dogboe is 25. Is this actually going to play in this particular fight?
You know, I think for many of us in boxing, we know that age is also a very big factor for us. Now we've all understood the fact that when somebody's younger, the person comes in more hungrier and more fitter than than the person who's older than you. So in their case, yes, Avalos is 30 years in the prime ages where people become world champions and all that. But looking at Isaac Dogboe, who has already been a world champion already. I mean, and somebody who has tasted defeat from one person with the whole nation with a very red eye. I feel he's going to come into this fight more stronger and more better, like than him. So yeah, age is going to be a very big factor, and in this case, it will go in favor of Isaac Dogboe.
All right, you still live here on Global 105.1 FM. The show is also live on my Facebook handle, Christian Chibueze, to be precise. You could watch us live there. Let's get back into him changing trainers. For now, his dad is no more with him. I'm talking about Isaac Dogboe. Do you think he's going to miss his dad, or do you think there's a new era for him to actually leave behind his father?
You know, for some reasons, let's say it's a blessing in disguise because for this time, because of the coronavirus, his dad was not able to fly to the US. Please, let us not forget that it is under his father that he became a world champion. So we can't take away the fact that his father has been a very good trainer to Isaac Dogboe. Everybody is unique. Everybody is different. Everybody brings a different thing or different skill set to a fighter. Unfortunately, he lost back to back. It happens. I mean, his father is also a trainer. We've seen big trainer Freddie Roach and all of those people handle boxers and they've lost. I mean, so yeah, because of COVID-19, his father was not able to travel to the USA, and then now he finds himself training with Patrice and one of the Hall of Famous coaches in the USA. And we've seen what Patrice has done with a lot of fighters, even with Scooter Davis, that they were inspiring together and all that. He was in a boot camp where he was able to train, focus, have no family. No, this time he didn't have family around. He didn't have his two
Friends
brothers that he
around.
usually has. He didn't have his father to, so the concentration was there. I can say that when it comes to mentality, this fight, I feel he's going there with 100% mental, because he didn't have anybody who's going to distract him family wise. It was just him, trainers, and other boxers who were also there with him in the camp.
Well, talking about this fight, how important is this fight to these two boxers, especially with Isaac Ralston Dogboe? He really needs to regain that faith from Ghanaians once again. How important is this fight for Isaac Dogboe?
For Isaac Dogboe, it's a very important fight because his name went down. What makes people like you is the fact that you are winning first. Secondly, for you to be selling, especially in the USA and in in UK and where the boxing is, you need to keep your momentum and your name up. Neho was a very big
Brand.
thing when he was winning, or when he had the title with him. Anywhere he entered, you could see them shouting or saying Neho, Neho. I remember I was in Singapore with my new plunge when we were going to fight against Michael Das Marinas. And when the people saw us and we said that we were from Ghana, what they were saying wasn't Manu Planche, but they were saying Neho, Neho, because then Neho has become a name. Paulus Abonda was from Namibia, was also there. He kept mentioning Neho, 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 even when he was going to stand there to fight against the Singaporean, right? So for Isaac Dogboe, the Neho brand needs to come back with a very solid force. So I'm hoping that he can win the fight. And for him, this fight is everything for him. For him to write his name back into boxing as one of the forces one of the names that can be that can be world champions, a world champion again. Don't forget, it's been promoted by Tom Brown, where they have a lot of boxers in the stable that a losing would not be a very good thing for him at the moment.
Now let's talk about a defeat. If he actually loses this fight, what's going to happen?
if he loses this fight, I think it is going to be a very bad thing for him, because he's first of see he's going to his rankings and everything is going to reduce, because Avalos, even though Avalos has some kind of name out there, it's not as big as Dogboe.
Navarrete.
You understand? Dogboe
Okay.
is a very big name, ranking the two names, because he has been able to become a world champion before, all right? And Avalos has faced two world champions, or opportunity to become a world champion in at least two of these fights that he lost. But he is going into the fight as a former world champion. He can't go into this fight to lose. No, he can't afford to lose. Else, he'll become a journeyman. Like for me, I see Avalos even as a journeyman, even though he hasn't lost to Dogboe yet, because somebody who has competed for the main, I mean, the ultimate in boxing. He competed for it twice, right? It's not an opportunity that comes to anybody. People like Wasiri Mohammed are looking for these opportunities for even maybe one time. They haven't got it, but you got it twice. It doesn't happen in boxing, and you've lost all those opportunities. I don't think it's something that we should. I'm not scared about this fight at all. I feel Dogboe is going to go into this fight and he's going to make it happen. Round 4, he's going to take this guy out.
Wow, that's a quick prediction on this fight between Isaac Dogboe and Chris Avalos. But let's talk about the featherweight division. He's now moved up in weight. Good news for him, because he's been trying to make the weight in the other division. How important, how profitable, how beneficial is this for him?
First of all, Dogboe has been in this division before when he fought against Tabanao at the Bukom Boxing Arena. For the WBO. No, it wasn't the Bukom. He fought for the WBO youth welterweight title against Tabanao. He won against him. This is the second time, or let's say this is going to be the time that everybody in the world maybe might put recognition on him that he's fighting the featherweight division. So yes, it will be his second attempt, and this time he's coming in at exactly 126. Yesterday he weighed at exactly 126. We've heard himself and his father mention on many platforms that the kid struggles to make the 122, so they are looking to move up in weight. Even before the second fight against Emmanuel Navarrete, they were saying that, and so I'm very glad that finally he's been able to move up like he had always wanted, and I expect that now that he's in his a body weight that he can really maintain and really throw the punches that we expect him to throw, it would go well for him.
How can we watch this fight? Many Ghanaians are asking, how do you get to watch? How do you get to stream? For sure, I know no Ghanaian station will be showing this particular one.
You see, Eze, that is why I always say that Ghana boxing, the media hasn't really helped Ghana boxing when it comes to Ghana, because between you and me and every sport journalist in Ghana, we know boxing has given Ghana a lot of world recognition than any other sport. But when it comes to the time that we have to be there, or the media has to be there for the boys, it doesn't happen. Not only boxing, okay, but let's say like athletics, handball, any other thing. If the people are going to represent us on the world stage, it will be very great for at least the national television, because they are for the nation, at least the national television to air, so that it gives the boys some kind of motivation and some kind of eyes that, oh, you know what, Ghanaians are going to watch me, so I don't have to lose this fight. If I lose this fight and I get to the airport, they will come and welcome me, because he's been welcomed into Ghana before and he knows how it feels when they are coming to see when they win and they are coming to Ghana. They see the fans at the Kotoka International Airport and everything. The fire, the motivation and everything. So the same way, if they go out there and they know that they are being watched, the motivation to fight is also different. But let me put it out real quick. The fight will be live on ESPN Plus. 1 a.m. Ghana.
1 a.m. Ghana time.
Yeah, 1 a.m. Ghana time. That's going to be 1 a.m. Ghana time, ESPN out. As usual, I'll try my possible best to put a link for Ghanaians to watch on KBOXtv, so they should just keep an eye on it.
Thank you so much for actually making time with me live here on the sports show on the Global Drive. Your final words before I leave you?
Ghana, it's our time. It's our boy again. He's done it before. His name went down and he's coming back. I'll plead with every Ghanaian to say a prayer for Isaac the Royal Storm Dogboe. He's I mean he's shown us how boxing is and how amazing he is, and if with our support, I feel like he can go all out, beat this guy. And now that Emmanuel Navarrete himself is saying that he's moving up to the division that Isaac Dogboe is going to fight now, I feel like
we might have a part 3.
Yes, when the trilogy happens, the part 3 will come, and then with this motivation and everything behind, he's going to knock out Emmanuel Navarrete when the chance comes. But don't forget Emmanuel Magdaleno, the guy that he also defeated to take that title from, is also in this division. So, guys, it's a very exciting division, and I would like every Ghanaian to throw their weight and support for Isaac Royal Storm Dogboe as he climbs the featherweight division.
Thank you, Kofi, for your time this evening. We appreciate always having you when it's actually time for a fight, when it's time for boxing. And of course, let's see what happens in that particular one between Isaac Dogboe and Chris Avalos. 1 a.m. This is done. How many people are even going to stay awake for this particular
They need to stay awake. They need to stay awake. Like, I guess like we used to do for how do you call it? Azuma Nelson. You see,
yeah,
it's passion, all right? It's passion. And if you love somebody, you have to do it for him, especially from our people, especially from his people in the Volta region. Because you know what? I saw him sing songs of, war songs, chanting the songs, singing the songs of from his motherland. So please, let's support him. Let's show him love. It's going to be interesting. Let's all stay up and watch this guy.
All right, so let's show love to Isaac Dogboe. This done 1 a.m. exactly. The fight will be taking place. You can watch it live on ESPN Plus, and immediately the link is out. Don't worry, we also get to share so that you watch the Son of the Land, the Royal Storm, actually fighting against Chris Avalos. That was Kofi Baisie. You could get to watch him more on KBOXtv, Facebook, and YouTube. You get to watch many interviews when it comes to boxing. Thanks, Kofi. Enjoy the rest of your day. So back to you, right, Ellis?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you heard it all.
Time 1 a.m.
Yeah, you know the time frame between